were the days, my friend, we thought they'd never end. We'd sing and dance forever and a day. We lead the lives we choose, we fight and never lose, for we were young and sure to have our way. La 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 la.
York Hotel was just part of London's folk mythology. Well, it was a cultural phenomenon in a city that did have a very rich artistic culture. It brought a lot of people together. It was a focal point for a lot of vibrant artistic energy, as well as a lot of eccentric characters that used to come to New York. Just a very, very vibrant scene that I don't think is possible today, but it existed at that time.
So this was the only focal point in London where everybody gathered together sort of in one large kind of artistic, zany family, you know, of eccentrics and poets and writers, and people, you could do anything you wanted. I mean, if you wanted to get up on a table and rant and rave or talk about something or talk about your mother-in-law, you could do it here.
The other day I walked into my bank and asked the manager if I could speak to the loan arranger. He said, "I'm sorry, the loan arranger isn't in. Would you like to speak to Tonto?" I said, "Okay, where's Tonto?" He said, "I don't know, but I think he might be about 120 miles from London in his TP or not TP. That is the question." Thank you.
I heard about it through a friend of mine by the name of Charlie Savage, who was a bohemian character, just a wonderful guy. He told me there were interesting groups playing here, and I just came down with them. I met Eddie and Mo, and I kept on coming on a regular basis. And it felt very at home, a very warm, friendly, open atmosphere, and a lot of writers, artists, interesting people. It was the center of what a lot of great activities.
I used to walk in the side door at the Clarence, and it's just like the backyard to an old farmhouse. And you would walk in, and immediately you would see all these really crummy tables, these really crummy chairs. On the right, there was a Venetian wall mural. In the back, there was a large picture of Queen Victoria. There were pictures of steam engines in this other room. There was a Frederick Banting painting above the bar, and there were all kinds of little things that were framed up, newspaper clippings, and just odds and ends. The place was a real schmozzle and a real mix of all kinds of things that had no rationale or interconnection. The place looked as crazy as seeing and hearing the Spasm Band. Nothing really added up in terms of aesthetics. Nothing matched. I've said this before. I think they got all the furniture, you know, just from restaurant auctions, and the washrooms. I mean, the place was sort of a dump. And I don't know, I think maybe artists are just attracted to dumps. If it had brass rails and stuff like that, I don't think anything like this would have ever happened at the York Hotel.
Everybody, I got to go, just like a wedding. I said I got to go now. Everybody, I got to go. I tell, I'll pack my bag, and down the road I go. I just pack my bag, down the road I go.
So I came in and sat down just over there, and I ordered a beer, and I was talking to the lady next door, and we introduced ourselves, and it turned out to be Mayor Jane Bigelow, I was kind of surprised to see her here. It's a pretty dingy place, lots of smoke, lots of rowdies kind of thing, and so I was hooked on the place. You know, I was here about twice a week ever since, I think, and until it closed down, and then I bought my last glass of beer, which I've held on to all these years.
I think what I liked best about coming to the York was you could just come by yourself and you'd always find people that you knew here who were friends. It was a good, comfortable place. Hi, Greg. A good, comfortable place to come.
Yes, it was a place to get together, because when you're an artist, you work by yourself. So, you know, at the end of the day, you want to go someplace and talk to actual people.
We would go to places to drink, and this was the place we happened to go to. This was fairly close to my studio and to the other ones, and it was a quiet pub. And Eddie and Mo had some class, you know. So we got along with them. We could talk to them. And that was the only pub where that really happened, because we didn't know the owners elsewhere, but we got to know these guys that ran it. It's very unusual. So it just started happening. And because the artists were here, and people like that were here, other people started showing up.
Like my friend who plays guitar, he's on his way somewhere by car, moving so he don't get stuck in the ground. When he plays again, people are gonna sing, people are gonna laugh, and they're gonna clap. They'll clap and they'll sing with their friends. Sing, sing a song with me, a song for friends and friends to be. Sing, sing a song with me, a song that's fresh and green and free.
Well, there was a closeness about it, because when we performed there, we were in a really small room, and people would come in the door by your elbow, and if they liked your music, they might sit close to you. If they didn't, they could just go to the back of the room, or they could head into another room and have a couple of beers. And of course, Eddie was always here to greet people, and Mo was always behind the bar, and part of the payment was free beer. But of course, if you drank too much beer, you couldn't perform. It was kind of a catch-22.
La 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 la. La 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 la, those were the days. Oh yes, those were the days. That's my set. Next up will be the Dixie Flyers. Thank you very much. Woo. Thank you very much, and welcome back to the York Hotel. Yes, indeed. For tonight only. We're the Dixie Flyers, so happy to be with you here on such an auspicious occasion. And of course, on a sad note, also, as we might mention, Eddie was our friend, and as I said many times, and with the band, as all said, our mentor, kind of getting us started in this business all over the country, as we have been for several years. And my hat is off to Eddie and Mo and all the folks here at the York Hotel.
This is a memorial for Eddie Asoff, and because I think all the musicians who ever played here for years and years have a great debt and a great sort of love and affection for Eddie Asoff.
There's a loose, free spirit this evening, which is remarkable. I think, given the recent events with Eddie's passing and so on, it's probably more somber than it could have been, but still it's a celebration and it's a tribute to Eddie.
Well, we get up early and we go to the fields, soon start haying and hoeing. Well, we chop down trees and we lay some corn, next the hay needs mowing. We worked hard all week long so we can make a little bit of money. When Saturday comes, we bathe in the creek, so we all smell good on Sunday. We all smell good on Sunday. We all smell good on Sunday. Saturday comes, we bathe in the creek, so we all smell good on Sunday. Hotel, have a hangover on Sunday. Well, Papa says you don't do it that way, 'cause you ain't worth a darn on Monday. We worked hard all week long so we can make a little bit of money. When Saturday comes, we bathe in the creek, so we all smell good on Sunday. We all smell good on Sunday, we all smell good on Sunday. Saturday comes, we bathe in the creek, so we all smell good on Sunday.
We began jam sessions here, and from jam sessions, the Dixie Flyers evolved, and that's 16 years and 7 albums later. The eclectic view of New York and the bizarreness of some of the acts and the flavor of the management, such as Mr. Aesop himself and Mo, that typified what New York was all about.
It's nice to be back in the York Hotel. I wish I could remember all the things that happened to me, but I was pretty drunk a lot. And they moved the back parking lot. It's gone. It's gone. Let's have a nice round of applause for a gentleman who met his wife. He proposed to his wife out in the parking lot, although it's not there anymore. His wife is still here. Mr. Bert Bombeck, give him a lovely hand here today.
Thank you, and I'm happy to say that my lovely wife Martin is here with us tonight from Kirkland Lake, Ontario. My official Northern Bear, right down there.
And he did propose to me in the parking lot of the York Hotel.
Because I was there when the punk rockers started, Dixie Flyers, Cheeseburger Deluxe, Uranus, Fabulous Sheiks. I remember them all. The fights and the good times. But generally, it was, everybody got along.
All these people are still working. Spasm Band's still going. Dixie Flyers is still going. Eric Stock's still going. Rainey and the theater is still going. Rainey's just got a new book out. Some of the people that worked with Rainey in the theater during the 60s, they're still running places like Pass Marai and the Neptune Theater.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. James Rainey.
The bottle of bees and ran. Who stole my bee bottle? Who stole my bee bottle? Did you, Benjamin? Benjamin, if you did, I'll never let you try my new trumpet now. Never, Benjamin. But far away, where Kenneth could never find him, Benjamin took the cap off the bottle. One by one, the great bees flew up and out and off, far away.
Well, I think the artistic community came first. And so that when people came into town to check it out, which they started to do, they would come down to the York Hotel because that's where everybody would be. So if they'd call me up or they'd call up Murray Favreau, well, Murray would say, well, let's go down to the York. You can meet those people down there. And they'd come down and we'd all be here, you see. So Buckminster Fuller came down here because everybody was here, you know. Well, Buckminster Fuller was brought in to lecture in London. And he gave lectures, I think 3 or 4 lectures. And it was natural that on a Monday night they brought him down here. And he came down to hear our band. And he took out his hearing aids because it was so loud, you know. He had 2 hearing aids. He sat in that room in there.
After hearing all these other musicians in the Spasm Band particularly, I think I evolved into what was the early part of the London Experimental Jazz Quartet, which I formed about 1971. And by that time I was playing almost totally experimental music. So I had come from a church choir background, you know, to My Fair Lady in high school background, to playing free improvisation by 1970, and I've been doing that ever since.